We have to find out whether we have placed ourselves in a conceptual process. Preconceived notions, attachment, aversions, everything comes in that. He is like that, no? We will immediately see. We have placed ourselves in a prison of our own. Many years back, in the vision, we happened to see one story. My boss drove a luxury car every day, and it was my duty to greet him and to open the gates for him, as I worked as a watchman in his villa, but he never responded to my greetings. One day he saw me opening the garbage bags outside the villa in search of any leftover food. But as usual, he never said anything to me. It was as if he never saw anything. The very next day, I saw a paper bag at the same place, but it was clean, and the food inside was fresh and good, as if someone had just brought it from the supermarket. I did not bother as to where it came from. I just took the paper bag and was so happy about it. Every day, I found this paper bag at the same place with fresh vegetables and all that we needed at home. This became my daily routine. I was eating and sharing this food with my wife and kids. I was wondering who this fool could be to forget his paper bag full of fresh food every day. One day there was a big problem in the villa, and I was told that my boss had died. There were too many guests coming to the villa that day, and I did not get any food packet that day, so I thought that one of the guests must have taken it. But the same thing happened on all the following days. It went on like this for a few weeks. I found it difficult to provide food for my family, so I decided to ask the wife of my boss for a raise in my salary, or else I would quit my job as a watchman. When I asked for a raise, she was shocked and asked me, how is it that you never complained about your salary for the last 2 years? And why is this salary not enough for you now? I gave her so many excuses, but she was not convinced. Finally, in the end, I decided to tell her the truth. I told her the entire story of the bag of groceries and how it was my daily provision. She then asked me as to when this got stopped. She then asked me, I told her that it stopped after the death of her husband. Only then I realized that I had stopped seeing the paper bag immediately after the death of my boss. Why did not I ever think of this before? That it was my boss who was providing this for me. I guess it was because I never thought that a person who never responded to my greetings would ever be that generous. His wife started to cry, and I requested her to stop crying, and that I was really sorry that I asked for a raise, and that I did not know that it was her husband who was providing me with the food, and also that I would remain as a watchman and be happy to be of service. His wife said, I am crying because I have finally found the 7th person to whom my husband was giving a bag full of food. I knew my husband was giving 7 people food every day. I had already identified 6 people, and all these days I was searching for the 7th person, and today I found out. From that day onwards, I started to receive the bag full of food again, but this time his son was bringing it to my house and giving it in my hand. But whenever I thanked him, he never replied, just like his dad. One day I told him, thank you, in a very loud voice. He told me to please not be offended when he does not reply, because he has a hearing problem just like his dad. Oh, may God give us all, for we have all, as human beings, judged another person without knowing the real story behind than actions. May God forgive us all, guide us toward the right path in life. Conceptual presence, we are trying to understand it.
He's like that.
Eh?
He's like that.
He is like that. Person, he is a class by himself. He was one of our closest friends. So when we were coming, it must have been late 70s or 80s, early 80s, when our universal prayer, at that time somebody had printed on a big sheet so that we can frame it and keep it in our room. So when we came here, it was taken from the publication. So we had kept it in the place where we were living. One day this man came. I know he has got a good hand in Malayalam, both Malayalam and English. We just told him, you translate this and give me in Malayalam. Next week when I come. He looked at it. Me? Yes. He said, I will have to remove this from your wall. Okay, remove it. I folded it, gave it to him. After 10 or 15 days, he came back. I don't think any bhakta can translate like that. It was a class by itself. While handing over, he said, I don't subscribe anything. But here he teaches, don't be in a conceptual person. He doesn't agree. But if somebody else is getting joy out of it, I don't mind giving. Highest point, he did not want to convince me that what I am doing is wrong. To him it is not right. But he did not want to mix up his right and wrong on us. And whenever he did something, does it perfectly. Language to language, not merely a literal translation, it was thematic. He must have also been going along with the theme. And finally he said, I don't subscribe. Lokaiga Nayaga, Vishwam Chamachuru Deva Deva. Like that he started. He taught us, we may not be able to derive much from him, but he taught us a wonderful lesson. Don't be in a conceptual person. His life teaches that whatever may be your difference of opinion, something is there from you, for you. That is why God made you to get in touch with Him. He may not be towing the same line as you are doing on a particular aspect. There are many things. He used to come here.
So there is a famous saying, we agree to disagree.
Universal perspective. Not open. There is no disorder in the world, no? That's what. When we broaden our outlook, we will be free from likes and dislikes. Many incidents come before us. This is another aspect which we would like to share with you all. Every one of us have been given opportunities to understand this right from our childhood. It is not reserved for anyone. Never think it is only for Mahatmas. Never think anyone who is leading a so-called spiritual life. He is liberal. He is a Democrat. He is equal to everybody. But the only thing is we don't become aware of it. So if we start reflecting, where from that reflection comes, there is a subtle message given to us by him through some incident. Whenever the love is there, we are above likes and dislikes. Whenever the love is absent, we are full of likes and dislikes, rights and wrongs. Just to go back to, we may not be able to remember our childhood days, but we would have seen our mother taking care of her next born, or we would have seen our friend taking care of their newly born. How many times the child passes stool or urine? How many times, suppose she was eating, she will just keep it, he will not say, I am eating, I will come later. Immediately she stops, goes there cleaning, without complaining, without grumbling, without accusing the child. Simple. If suppose we start noticing like that, there are umpteen number of incidents where, when the love is there, all these things pale into insignificance. It's a wonderful point Papa is teaching. Universal perspective is like that, accommodating everything. No one is another. Right from childhood through mother, we are being taught. And then slowly we try to learn from our father, from our elders, from our even elder brothers, from elders. And then when we go to the office, from our boss, from colleagues. And when we come to the spiritual preceptor, he is full of love for us. When we come to him, we realize that, when we have got a mind to reconcile, to accept everything, how can it come? Only with a universal perspective. Prior to coming to ashram, we were working with a Jain. Through simple one, he used to see the universal aspect of it. Whether it is to a human being, or to a plant kingdom, or to an insect. How he has been equal, the love. We must have shared, many of you might have heard this. He had got a weakness for this Himalayan rally. He will go all the way from Wayanad in a jeep. He will get it repaired. He himself is a good mechanic. One person used to accompany him. We used to always put obstacles, but finally he will stick to it and he will go. 20-25 days, we have no news about his whereabouts. All the way from Wayanad, just imagine, to the Himalayas. And when they come back, the person who accompanied will say, though he teaches a lot, it is boring to travel with him. Why? He is not bothered about the rally. Suppose when he goes, another participant, suppose he got some mechanical trouble for his vehicle, he will stop there and this man will immediately jump out and then attend to his and see that he is perfectly alright. He has gone for a Himalayan rally. Again same thing will happen on the next day. So when he came back, we asked him, common sense demands, when you go for this one dharma, you should be true to that dharma. You spend a lot of money there and you go there. So in a simple childlike way, in Malayalam we will say, because he doesn't know the mechanism. What will you do in a place? Everybody will be bothered only about winning the race. God made us to go there, not to be of some use, Simple life. Next year also he will go. Even when we used to travel in his vehicle, after say 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, there will be a lot of, in the, what do you call it, insects will be moving toward the headlight. Immediately he will stop, jump out, go to the radiator, save some. Again again the same thing happens. So we used to get irritated. We said, don't you know that at this moment if we drive, this will happen? Why should you drive? Again the childlike simple answer. He will say, you should not go. But we had already told that we would be there, So much saved means so much, Out of 10, if he can save 7, the 7 is saved. So in his mind, accommodating everything. He will never allow any tree to be cut. If at all it is, you can shade law, but never capital punishment. Never allow. Suppose there is a pest attack for our crop. He will never use any chemical fertilizer, pesticide. Only organic, so that it will ward off. Like that, he used to teach us what is universal, what is that name?
Perspective.
Universal perspective. There is another dimension he is teaching us. So universal perspective is accommodating the internal well-being of everybody. Not only to a particular segment, not only to a particular species. No. Originally we brought this because there is no disorder in the world. We will not see any disorder if there is love. So the same word can give us so many dimensions. And if we look back to our own life, it is not a hollow theory, it is not a tall talk, it is not an intellectual exercise, it is something practically possible. We find here, how it started with, Papa has got reverence for all saints. Though he sticks on to one particular line of approach, he reveres everybody. Why? He recognizes God in everybody. So just like when we accept honestly that uniqueness is a characteristic of God, naturally there should be unique approach in the path also. When there is uniqueness in the creation, naturally the paths leading to that must also be unique. So the guides also must be unique. So we don't undervalue, we don't disrespect, we don't write off, we don't belittle anybody. Through that particular individual, so many people will be touched and guided. So have an open mind, not only open mind, receive them. This is the, in Indian philosophy there is a beautiful word. Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. The truth is only one, but wise people say in so many ways. Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. They say in so many words. So if that is understood, only my line of approach I will not hold down. I carry equal respect for everybody. Recognizing them, that is the Indian philosophy, Indian system, Indian culture. Spirituality means traditional and non-traditional. Here also we have an open mind. We should have an open mind. If we say that only through path of knowledge one can attain Suddenly we remember there are so many Bhaktotamas. So many people who have not even gone near any book or gurus. They had attained the highest. Suddenly we remember, Inclusive spirituality. Simple devotion will be there. We may learn from Atma Bodh. There is a second sloka is there. Bodhvanya sadhanebhyo hi sakshan mokshaiga sadhanam pakasya vannivad jnanam vina mokshona sityati. If you don't have knowledge, you will not get it. Shankaracharya said in a different way. Suppose I read this and compartmentalize in this. The moment I come and look at Gora Kumbhar's life, suddenly I realize what I miss, what I am trying to understand Adi Shankara through my definition of knowledge. I try to place myself, whereas he talks just from the knowledge, perfection. What is knowledge? Applied one alone is not knowledge. So that level I have to raise, then only I will be able to understand. So when we have got varieties, inclusive spirituality, nobody is insignificant, nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant. This is the simple one. Yeah. Many people who may not be, just like I told you about Gopi. He may not be following the path of knowledge, he may not be following the path of devotion. But this life, very simple, honest, straightforward.
There is God in him also.
Huh?
There is God in him also. In his mindset.
Not the way in which we have to define. Peace pilgrim, for example, then we go through that. Goodness. If probably we will get clearer and clearer picture of this if we concentrate more and more on this. Nothing is insignificant, nothing is unimportant, nothing is irrelevant. Nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant. Any approach. Traditional, non-traditional. Normally we develop a biased view, if you don't follow this pretty traditional. Or we have got to know why they are doing it. When they are doing it sincerely in a ritual. When Papa was asked whether we should follow ritual, he said, if you feel like doing it, do it. If you think that you are doing it for others, don't do it. In God experience, he was asked whether I should do Shraddha for my father. If you, from your mind, if says it should be done, it should be done. If you think, what will others say if I don't perform, then don't do it. Consciousness. Ultimately, sadhana is to merge in the individuality in the great universal reality. Illustration is the projector, the screen and the projector. The screen remained the same, though so many scenes are changing. evoking different types of emotions in us. At times we cry, at times we laugh, at times we become more reflective. We give life to the villain, to the hero, to the comedian. So many things, For that particular moment, though we know it's a fiction, it's a reality for us. 100% we know it's a fiction. When we go for a movie and it touches, we may even, tears may come. We know it is fiction. But it is touched and kindled, but the screen, it doesn't drop a tear. It remains untouched, unruffled, unaffected. So when the concept of God is introduced to us by our texts, Vedas, our masters, they keep on bringing this into our mind. Behind the body-mind complex, behind our objects, emotions and thoughts, behind perceiving, feeling and thinking is that undisturbed witness consciousness, Sarvadi Sakshi Bhudam. Day for yesterday we happened to go through an article of Swami Nitya Chaitanya. Somebody asked him from United States before he dropped the body, 15 years back, what will happen to this spiritual movement presided by you? So many things are very interesting. He said, my job is only as a sentinel, watchman. To share if somebody comes and asks me. Because my guru said you be here, okay. And afterwards he knows how to run this. Never he owns that. My job is to, not that I should say you should do this, you should do that. When somebody comes and asks, whatever God has given me, I have to share it. If you don't ask, I keep quiet. You use the word sentinel. Beautiful word. A watchman. Whenever we cross the boundary, he will be pointed out, that's all. Otherwise he has no job. No job, no. Only alertness. Sentinel has no job otherwise. So like that, we should try, whenever we see that, So not only Mahatmas, not only screen, not only this, through reflection only we have been asked to go inward. And Papa used to say, go to the source. Source of everything. So source of, I exist because of the thought called I. When the absence of thought is there, I am not there. So I try to now go back to the source of this thought. For that he says Ram Ram chanting. Mentally, if we chant, all other chanting is also okay. But he prefers mental chanting. So when he says mental chanting will ultimately lead to the cessation of all thoughts, stilling of the mind, which will facilitate for the emergence of this witness consciousness. Nobody is there to tell. Consciousness absolute, not conscious of. So there is a conscious process by which thoughts are set at rest. And for that, we have been asked to concentrate on one thought, and that is Ram Nam. And finally, that thought also ends. That's all.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram,
Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri
Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. It was 3 o'clock when I even started.
I put a different cell.
Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram. அது நிற்கிறது அது நிற்கிறது check it up for half an hour now. Say it, you have to not that I have. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai